Good morning, Rabbi Sai. A good given Shiur. If I forget to give a bracha at the end, let me just do it now when I still remember. It should be a year of gesund, nachas from our children. A year full of torah, not missing a day of learning. Shalom bayis. Parnosa berevach. Hashem yimalek kol v'shalo yislipchem letoivo. Ksiv v'chasim letoivo agud ben Shiur. I have to apologize. I received a lot of emails today, and I really didn't see all of them, unfortunately. But there's a few of them here. Just a personal thank you and ksiv v'chasim letoivo, dear Reb Eli. It's now just a little over a month since I joined Kiddushin Daf Beis and feel obligated to thank you for the energy, excitement, and passion you bring to this year every single day. I'm happy to have already been able to recruit one new listener, my workmate, Rabbi Glock, who was caught a few days ago in the airport learning the Shiur on his phone, and you played the clip the next day. Pure nachas. Wish you and your mishpacha a good given Shiur. May we always zoicha to shnas geula v'yeshua l'shana haba b'Yerushalayim. Hoping to meet you Shabbos in Armon, Elimelech Reich, Monroe, New York. Always gives me extra nachas when they come from Monroe. Eric Schwartz, wishing you and your family the wonderful brachas in the new year. I'm hoping you're to be able to be at a live share soon. Will there be an added share on Sunday night for the daf on Shabbos? Thank you, Eric. So the way it works is, we're going to have a share right here in the base medrash on Rosh Hashanah. What time, Menachem? 3:30 we said? What is it, before Mincha? No, 5:30. Tell me, the later the better. What? Shiur tomorrow. An hour before Mincha. When is that? 6, so 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Motzei Yom Tov. We're going to have a shiur here at 9:45, followed 9:45, followed by the same shiur that was said on Rosh Hashanah, to be recorded for everybody else that needs to watch it online. Now, that being said, Reb Eli, this is where so many people fall off the bandwagon. How do I know? If you look on YouTube or All Daf or whatever it is, you look at Motzei Rosh Hashanah, Motzei Sukkot, there's just a huge drop. Hundreds of people don't even come back. The numbers always... So going into it, knowing that this is problematic, Yom Tov is always an issue. You're davening for hours, and sometimes you don't have time to open up a Gemara. So you prepare properly. You learn by yourself. You learn a little bit before. You learn a little bit after. But if chas v'shalom you don't, you skip ahead. You have to skip ahead. Can't be a perfectionist now. Shabbos Kohen. I don't get a lot of these every day, but Moedim de Rabbanan teaches us that we can't be yoytze from other people. We have to try Koros HaTov in person. And this is the first time that I haven't missed a day of learning for a whole year. Through all the daily challenges, Yom Tovim, vacations, I'm choking up. Family events, overseas trips. Every day started with the daf because of the exciting way you radiate Torah to the world. One of the known explanations, Avram Avinu came with his days, meaning he fully utilized his days, so Hashem blessed him with everything he needed to continue. When you stand on Rosh Hashanah and ask for another healthy year, Hashem has a very good reason to answer yes, based on an insight I heard from Zechariah Wallerstein, okay? And it gives me a lot of chizuk. I just happened to have a meeting with Chaim Levy. He's sitting here. And why do I mention his name every day? Because he's a tzaddik in his 30s who hasn't opened up a sefer, I don't know, he didn't tell me how many years. But Bekitzer, since yeshiva, how many years is it, Chaim?
15 years.
18 years. 18 years. No, he told me I could say it. 18 years. So that he's here 3 days in a row. Rosh Hashanah. The year goes after the Gemar. And Be'ez Hashem, it's going to be a chazaka. He's going to go weiter. We're going to finish Shas together. And he's going to make delicious food at the Armon Hotel. Amen. And on the cruise ship, when we go, he doesn't know about the cruise ship yet. We'll let him know about that at a different time. Aber Rennert. The Chvod Reb Eli, as the year comes to a close, I would like to share this with you. When I used to see people learn Daf Yomi and reach Time Mikra, sometimes at the same time, I thought that it was nice, but there's no chance of me joining the ranks. I know that one is a matter of daily learning, and one is Hatzlocha, but they were never going to happen and weren't even on my radar. Both required a long-term daily commitment, and I wasn't even interested in that conversation. A few years ago, I saw your interview on Meaningful People and decided to try this year. 7 Masechtas in 6 months was very tempting. The fact that it was online, doing it on my own time, it's a game changer for me. The plan was to stop by Yavamas. But Baruch Hashem, I'm still in the game, even though Yavamas was a bit rough. Last Elul, you made a big push for Shnai Mikra, and I was looking to take on something new. I decided to give it a shot. The method I decided was to line up the days with Aliyah, Sunday to Sheni, Monday to Shlishi. I found it more manageable to learn a couple of minutes a day instead of everything at once. I asked the Shayla and I was told that I can use an English art scroll instead of Unkelos. Maybe case specific, everyone should consult with their local rabbi. And on Shabbos, by learning, I would read the whole parsha again. This year is the first year, Be'ez Hashem, that I'm completing Shnai Mikra V'echel Targum. A very big issue koyach to you and them, the UI family, for creating a team, for creating a space where it starts with just the daf and naturally gets people to grow more. Ashrecha and Ksiv Chasim Toiva Aber Rennert. He's the father of that kid that donated his own money like 2-3 days ago. Whew, okay, gotta get together here. Boys, beautiful sugya. Oh, sponsors. Thank you. Let me say this. Okay, I should say these sponsors before I forget to say them. Dedicated to my personal hero and inspiration, Reb Eli, Shliט, and families came in right before Shiur. ותלמוד כנגד כולם, שיתקבלו This is what happens when you don't go into the website. In honor of your great father, Harav Tzaddik, Eli Stefansky, to whom all of us at MDY owe a huge Yeshikoyach and Hakar Satayv. Hakar Satayv to Reb Eli and all of the great tzaddikim at MDY, especially to Moran Nakash for buying me an entire Shas art scroll. These are the tzaddikim of MDY. To Mark Ashkenazi and Uncle Phil for the amazing savings Chagim packages. They send these people packages, which have been a huge nechama for our mishpacha. Ksiv Chasim Toiva, Tani Palak. Okay, I'm getting it together. Koilol is the last day. May we merit the crown Hashem. The Masechta, Lakewood families, Lakewood, New Jersey, because torah and achdus are the best segula. Parnas Chodesh, Linishma Zechariah ben Moshe, Parnas Chodesh, Rochel bas Leba, for Refuah Shneim Bekoroi, Parnas Chodesh, Linishma Zechariah bas Yosef, Parnas Chodesh as Zchut. That test. I think the test came back normal. They should live to 120 Be'ez Hashem. Hatzlocha Zchut Yosef Meir ben Rochel. Parnas Shavua, thank you to Hashem for all the good He has given us and continues to give us. Parnas Hayoim, all of Klal Yisrael should have a Ksiv Chasim Toiva and a year full of brachas. Anonymous. What is this? Landed Eagle Records to Melech Cohen and the DJ Kalman. This is what I need? Okay. Oh my eye. Okay. Say that's good. It's good. It's healthy. DJ KLMN for the new hit. Why do you put this in?
Did you not see the email I sent you?
No. I didn't see there's a lot of emails that came in. What did it say?
They're doing a whole thing where they're going to give tickets to someone. You'll see the email.
That's true. It's Lakewood NJ for the new hit, Pushkina Avenue. Pushkina, what? Yeah, he sent us a clip. No, we don't do advertisements. Maybe for special people like Mylech, I don't know. All right, Rabbi Isai, the Refuah Shelemah for my wife's uncle, Stanley Crampman. Shmuel Yaakov ben Bailey is going through a very, very difficult surgery today. Should have Refuah Shelemah. Torah Rabbanon. What is this? Like 25 lines from the bottom of Amud Beis on Beis. Mipnei Seva Takum. They Seva Takum. The Torah says, here's the pasuk. Mipnei seva takum v'adarta pnei zaken. What does this mean? Is it talking about an old person? What does seva mean? Maybe zaken means something else. It's two halachas. Mipnei seva takum, for an old person you should stand up. V'adarta pnei zaken, and you should give hidur to a zaken. V'yireisim elikecha, you should fear Hashem. What's going on here? Where's that thing? My father-in-law taught me, I guess it's common knowledge, but he's ear, nose, and throat. So when you cry, so a lot of times the tears come out of the nose. You'll see people assume, I'm saying that it drips through, they're connected. Okay, so what?
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing. Torah Bonan. No. Okay. Rabbi say, since you're in a great mood, there was a kid on a bus, and an old man came onto the bus, and the kid stood up for him. So the old man pushed him down to the seat. 10 seconds later, the kid gets up again. Keeps on pushing him down to the seat. A few minutes later, the old man says, "What is your problem? You're not getting the hint?" So the kid said, "I don't think you get the hint. My stop was 2 stops ago." So what do you do when you get on the bus and there's an old man and you're sitting there? What do? Do you have to get up? So that was the discussion yesterday. What about an old man? A shtickle Russia. Do you have to get up for him? It says, which one? What do you do? There's actually a 3-way machloikas here. Says the Gemara. So let's just see the machloikas real quickly. It's unfortunately I did it, not Yoshi, so it's a little. When do you stand up? So I put the seva in black and the zaken in red. There's two lashonis here, seva and zaken. So according to Tanna Kamma, what we're learning right now, Tanna Kamma says you need both. You need an old man who's a zaken. You need a zaken Talmud Chacham. And if a Talmud Chacham is a young Talmud Chacham, the Belzer, let's say, or Reb Eli Kramer walks in, he's too young, you don't have to stand up for him. He has to be a 70-year-old plus a Talmud Chacham. That's the Tanna Kamma. You need those two. Yosef says, no, it's 2 separate halachas. Zaken, even a guy that's not a Talmud Chacham. And a Talmud Chacham, even if he's young, so you would have to stand up for Reb Eli Kramer. Yosef Ben Yehuda says, even an old man who's a Rasha, if he's old, you stand up. And also, Talmud Chacham is young. If you had a guess, how do we pass him? No, anybody? Guess. It's a trick question, right? So you're going to say, guess the worst what? Tanna Kamma. Yosef Ben Yehuda. You have to say Yosef Ben Yehuda. Why? Because you learned in Koil yesterday for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I saw you. Huh? Yesterday? Okay, yesterday. Yeah, the halach is like Yosef Ben Yehuda. You have to stand up. I don't know what we do exactly. Every time an old Rasha. Like a guy that wears a kippas ruga, let's say. I'm just kidding. Like who? Like a guy, like a Rasha. What does a Rasha look like? A guy, Onkan Kapel, walks in. I don't know. You have to stand up. He's an 80-year-old. You gotta, I'm looking at you. He has twin boys, identical. One wears a kippas ruga, one wears a velvet. He walks in. And then I saw one of them went off the derech last week. They both wear kippas rugas now. No? Okay. Yeah. Put that. They say shivim ish miziknei Yisrael. So it happens to be, Rabbi Yisrael, most poskim hold that la'alacha, if an old man walks onto a bus, you don't have to give up your seat for him. That's the halacha. The halacha is you have to stand up for him. You don't have to give up your seat. But it's proper and it's manners. It's the right thing to do to give him the seat. Okay? So I heard a woman once saying, and I don't know if this is true, she said, I can't believe it. Today, in nowadays, I'm pregnant and nobody gives me their seat. I don't believe it because I remember when I was a kid, everybody used to get up. Right? I don't know what it is on the bus today. That's how it is on the buses today? They get up? It's normal? Okay, so she's making it up. Okay. Here's another Shiloh. Let me ask you something. A Shiloh. If you see a Russia guy, a real Russia, you see a Russia old man, are you allowed to hit him? You're allowed to, oh, you're a Russia. Smack him in the face as he walks by. Yeah? Yeah? It's going to be a shocker in a second. Mama's a shocker. Reb Eli argues, that's the middle shita. No. You need to have chachma. Maybe you should stand up from him when he's very, very far away. I didn't say you should stand up. That you see that it's muchach that you're standing up for him. What does it mean? He realizes if you stand up when he's a mile away, it's not for him. Maybe it's for somebody else. When he's within your dalet amis, it's so obvious. You're standing up for him. Stand up. Maybe you should give him money. Hidur, you should give him money. They go together. Kiss. Just like when you stand up, it doesn't cost you anything. It's a nice thing to do. So too, hidur doesn't involve money. We're going to go into this, each one of these things a little bit. Another halacha. Maybe when you're in the Beis HaKisei, you're in a bathhouse, in the mikvah, maybe you should jump up for him. Who was it? I think it was the Slonim Rebbe said he was once in a mikvah. He was completely undressed. He was about to go into the mikvah, and the Meshuggah of the city screamed out, "Rabbi, I give cover to the Rebbe." You see, everybody stand up. And he said, even though he knew that he's the Meshuggah of the city, it gave him a shtickle covered. He says that's how desperate people are for a little covered, a little recognition. He knew he's the Meshuggah of the city, and he wasn't clothed at all. It was mamish bushas, but it's lemaisa a little bit. Did a little bit. Talking about that. I didn't. Talking about that. I'm just thinking about, okay. I don't know if this is not the. I'm not going to say that it's Erev Rosh. I'm not going to say the story with the jet ski. I didn't say it in many years, and I got it was throwing me off YouTube. I was once in the mikvah and somebody stole my clothes. So what did I do? I put the towel on my head and I ran home. No, that's not what happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're keeping it. Okay. Now listen to this, and we're going to talk about this halacha also. Yochel. You know what? Let's see Taisus on top. We have to see this Taisus because Zokin Ashmai. Zokin Ashmai, the Gemara said before, you have to stand up even for an old man who's a Rasha. Pirush Bakuntris Ashmai Rasha. V'Amoretz. He's a Rasha. Amoretz. The Kasha, Dechkama, Isi ben Yehuda, the Seva Mashma, Fidu Zokin Ashmai. How does you say you have to stand up for him? V'Aloi, listen to this. Mitzvah, Afilu L'Hakoisoi, Ulevazoisoi L'Zalzaloi. You see a Rasha man, old, like an 80-year-old man, a Rasha walking down the street, it's a mitzvah to walk over and punch him in the face. Now, this is one of these mitzvahs I don't recommend doing. Save it for somebody else. But that's what Taisa says. It's a mitzvah to yell at him, curse him, be mevayish him. Mitzvah. I'm just throwing it out there. I like to show you the shockers. We said already. Yochel, where it gets wide over there. Yochel yatzim enov kimisha lo yiro. Maybe you should close your eyes and pretend you didn't see him. Tamaloymar tokum v'yireisa. Dover hamasr lelev. It's in the heart. Never by v'yireisa melkecha. Because Baruch Hu knows exactly what's going on in your head. Don't try to get out of this mitzvah. You're not fooling anybody. Hashem knows what's going on in your head. The Gemara is going to ask. It's obvious. You need a pasuk for that. What? The guys are. He's a Rasha for pretending he doesn't see the tzaddik and not standing up for him. How do you know that a Talmud Chacham should not walk into Beis Medrash, B'dafka, and no, sit. Everybody stands up for him. He's like a big onav. No. And then suddenly has to go to the bathroom 5 times. Every time he goes in and out, Loilam is getting up. How do you know? No, you should have your shamayim. You should be fearful of Hashem. Don't do it for your covet. There's a famous Maisa that's brought down in Reb Eli Kamenetsky's the autograph about him. It says that when he went into, I think it was the Aguda convention. I don't remember which one it was. He went in with Reb Shneur Kadl's Rochel into the Aguda convention. Reb Shneur said, let's go back from the back and we'll go backstage and we'll come into the stage. And Reb Eli says, no, I want to go from the front door and I want everybody to stand up. So Reb Shneur was shocked. This is coming from Yankov Kamenetsky, famous for Anova. And he said, listen, this is the one time that my wife is in the audience. And I want her, all these years, people pester me and they ruin our Shabbos Suda and this, and they come, they have late hours at night. I want to give her something back, a little bit something back for her. So, how do you know? Afilu seva, isi ben yudo oimer, b'nei seva takom, afilu kol seva b'mashma.
100%.
What? So, Isi says it's mashma every zaken. Every zaken. Doesn't matter who he is and what he is, how much Torah he learned. What's the difference between the two? If the person is very young and a huge Talmud Chacham, you have to stand up for him or not. So according to Reb Eli, Talmud Chacham who's young, you have to stand up. According to the Tanakama, you see over here it says Lo Omed LeTalmud Chacham Tzeir. So Elio Jacobs in the Kollel turned around to the Belzer Chassid and asked him very seriously, do I have to stand up for you? How old is he? Maybe 30. He knows Kol HaTorah Kula Bal Peh, and he knows you. He's 28 years old. 28 years old. And he knows Torah like crazy. Do I have to stand up for him? So he's a big honor. He laughed at him and this and that, but I would stand up for him, and I would stand up for anybody in the Kollel. Okay? These are guys taking 1,200 daf test now. No, now it's half a shas. Half a shas on Sukkos. It's unbelievable. Why does Reb Eli say that Tam Chacham was young, you have to stand up? If it's like the Tanakama, you see the Tanakama says they're both in the same. Seva and Zakin are one pasuk. It's just telling you one halacha. The man has to be an old Talmud Chacham. It should go together. Seva Zakin, talking about Darta, and then tell us what to do. It's an old man who's not. Why does the Torah say Mipnei Seva Takum? Period. Vadarta b'nei Zakin, another halacha. Obviously, it's two halachas. Lememir the high lav high, the high lav high. It's two separate halachas. There's an old man that's not a Talmud Chacham. There's a Talmud Chacham who's not an old man. I want to teach the halacha that you shouldn't be matriach people. You shouldn't walk into halls and make people stiff. I saw with my own eyes. A guy I said this before. He was a Rebbe, he came with the whole thing, he came with the Gabbai, and they were standing outside and standing. I was watching them, and the Gabbai goes to the band and says, my Rebbe is coming in, could we please play? And the guy says, no, I only Shivas, big ones. And then he goes back to the Rebbe and he whispers something, the Rebbe sends him back. For 10 minutes, you're standing outside. What song they should play for the Rebbe? And at the end, he didn't get his cover that he wanted. He walked in without the song. He's talking about that. If Reb Eli is right, that you don't have to be a Talmud Chacham and you could be young, then it should say, it should really say the two halachas to both cases. It's an old man who's a Talmud Chacham. Now let's just go into it a little bit. What we said before. I'll think you have to give a Talmud Chacham money, stand up, give him money, or the Zakin, Talmud Loimer, talking about Darta. Just like when you stand up, we said before, it doesn't cost you anything, so here there's also. What are you talking about? It could be talking about a guy that has the most profitable job. He's dealing with pearls. He's making the holes in the pearls maybe for the necklace, whatever it is. Well-paying job. And then an old man walks by, so he has to stand up, stop his work. Hello. Yeah, there was a principal who a parent came to him and said, I need to talk to you about all these kids that are going off the derech in your school. So he says, listen, when you carry a pail of water from here to there, a little bit is going to fall out of the pail. That's just the way it is. There's always going to be things that fall to the side. So he told him, listen, if it's a pail of water, you're right. But if it's a pail of marganisa, of diamonds, then when the little falls out, you stop and you pick it up. Says the Gemara. Huh? He's gonna stop work. Do you have to stop? Ella says Gemara. No, you don't have to stop. Ella akish kimo lehidur. Mahidur she'im boy bittul. This is very interesting. It's a little bit. We're not going to go into the complication. Even though hidur means you don't have to stop working. Even though you might have to give money. At this point, you might be giving money. Afkima she'im bittul. So therefore, when you stand up, there's one thing we'll establish here. You don't have to stop working. No, because hidur has no bittul. Hidur might mean that you have to pay, but there's no bittul malacha. But so therefore, kima doesn't have bittul. Va'akish nami hidur lekima. And once I know that, makima shein b'chesaron kis, afidah nami shein b'chesaron kis. At the first step, we were saying maybe it costs some money, but now we do a double hekish, and basically we get to a point where it doesn't have to cost you money. Huh? Because that's what hidur is. Hidur. Ein loshen hidur elonisias ponim. Or bekibud dvarim. Or b'mammon. You have to pay. But not bitul malacha. Ve'ein b'mashmois says Rashi bitul malacha. Yeah. Says the Gemara, from here you see, Ein bali umnois rishoyim lamay. This is shayla, are we goyers rishoyim? But rishoyim are you allowed? Not rishoyim. In other words, when you are a worker, you work for somebody else, you get paid by the hour, are you allowed to stand over someone? The famous Ma'is and Tainus, Daf Gimel, Abechilkia, he was working in a field, and I forgot who it was, came over to him and said hello to him, Shalom, and he didn't answer him. According to Mashah, he literally didn't answer him. According to Ben Yehoyada, it depends. If you're Ashkenazi, he didn't answer him at all. Sfardi, Ben Yehoyada, Tomer, he didn't look at him, but he answered him. The point is, when you're working for somebody, you're a ganav if you stop working. You have no right. Who says your employer allows you to stop and shmooze with somebody? All the workers, it says by Bikurim, here's a picture that Yoshi did, special for us. So when they came to Yerushalayim with their fruit, the first fruit, all the people in Yerushalayim would stand up for them, give them kavod. Instruments, things. So they would stop their work and they would give them attention. It's different. People that come from out of the city with the Bikurim, you stand for them, but not for a Talmud Chacham. When you do a mitzvah, you have more chashivas than the Talmud Chacham. You don't stand up for Talmud Chacham. Says the Gemara, the answer. We are concerned that if you don't stand up for this Talmud Chacham, for the Bikurim, sorry, I'm just thinking about the Rebbe Shmulevitz because I saw Rebbe Melech in the back. I'll get there. I don't want to forget to show this. I skipped it, so I almost forgot. I'll show it over here so I don't forget. We're scared that if people don't stand up and give kavod, the proper kavod, to people that bring Bikurim, they won't do it next year. Says Rashi, but if you see a Talmud Chacham bringing Bikurim, you don't stand up for him because he is going to come next year. You're talking about the Amoritz. So how does this connect? If you're reading this Gemara, how does this connect to Rosh Hashanah? How could it connect to our life? This idea with Bikurim standing up. I'll tell you how. I think for me, Rosh Hashanah, you're in Shul. There are people that come to Shul once a year, that one day. There's somebody in my family, one of my children, he comes to our Shul here only once a year on Rosh Hashanah. He tells me he doesn't like the Shul. They don't treat him well. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. But there's that person that comes to Shul once a year. And it's what you do that once a year. Do you leave your tissue on the table? Do you play frum? You go like this and he walks by you don't look at him? Or you say, Shalom Aleichem, how are you? Give him a good feeling. It's the once a year. It's your one-time opportunity to make an impression on this person that comes to Shul. So one time, this is what the Gemara is saying here. It's the one time to make an impression on this guy that's bringing Bikurim, and we could apply it to our life as well.
In order to do that, you have to do it every day though, so otherwise you won't know that.
It happens to be that people that come here tell me all the time, I get emails all the time, the way they were mechabed people that came in there, and it makes me feel very good that people come to every guest, and we have guests every day, Baruch Hashem. They say, Shalom Aleichem, do you need a Gemara? Please sit over here. People take care of him. It should be in every shul like that. The shuls that they're greater than thou. They're too front to say hello to people, or this. There's some shuls that say, do you need a place to eat? This Madregas, let's not push it. But at least be nice and make a nice impression. So you're not invited. I had you already once. I already know what I'm getting myself into. Listen to this story. About 13 years ago, this is my cousin, so I want to make as much fun as I want. About 13 years ago, I was on a bus, says Elimelech Goldberg, passing Rochel Ezra's Torah in Yerushalayim. And the bus was almost empty. And another passenger and I were sitting in the front row behind the driver in the aisle seat at the Beis Yisrael wedding halls. Reb Eli Shmuel Zatzal, together with a regular looking guy, boarded the bus. Both of us sitting in the front, automatically stood up and moved to the back row. The other guy that boarded with Reb Eli jokingly said to him, when I board the bus with the Reshiva, I also get covered. Now listen to this. Reb Eli sounded very frustrated and said to him, Mipnei Seva Tokum Meit nicht abgeben an art. Doesn't mean to give up your seat. The other guy was trying to argue, but he kept repeating himself that the mitzvah is not to give up your seat. Thank you again for everything that you're doing. Goldberg and because I've been saying this for the last few weeks, that every time I say a story of a Rebbe, wherever it is, I should put a picture. It's a picture share, so I might as well show the oil. So Yishkach being the first one. Hopefully I remember to do it in the future. Okay. So now that being said, we go back here. So we have this. Okay. Omar Yochel, huh?
Tell a story of yourself. You could put a
No stories of myself. Yochel Yam Beis Akise Beis Amechas. We're just going back and everything we learned already. It's our Rosh Hashanah. We're not going to say he wanted to see something about the mikveh and the Rebbe that I said before. Omar Yochel Yam Beis Akise Beis Amechas. Veloy. What? You're not supposed to stand up for your Rebbe in the Beis HaMerchatz here? Yosef Reb Chi was sitting in the Beis HaMerchatz, and you had Reb Shimon, the son of Rebbe. Who's Rebbe? Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the author of the Mishnah. His son was a big godler. Obviously, he didn't stand up in front of him. Vikbad. He was upset at him. I'm in the Beis HaMerchatz, but you should have stood up for me. So he goes and tells Lashon Hara. I don't know if it's Lashon Hara. He tells his father. I just realized there's another place in Shas where he said something to Rebbe. He says, oh, so-and-so wrote a beautiful Tehillim, and Rebbe said it's Lashon Hara. You shouldn't talk like that. Why was it Lashon Hara? I don't remember, because now you're saying that it's nice, and I'm going to talk about him afterwards. Okay, whatever. I taught him 2/5 B'Sefer Tehillim, in Tehillim. So I don't know if he said his name or not, but he said, listen, there's a Talmid Chacham that I taught him so much, 2/5 of Tehillim, with all the Pirushim and everything, obviously, and he didn't stand up for me. Besu, so you should stand up in the Beis HaMerchatz. Besu Barkabar Ramel Reb Shmuel Bar Yosi, Avi Yosef Zchut Avos Reb Shimon Bar Rebbe. Again, the same person, Reb Shimon Bar Rebbe. V'lo Kam Kamei V'Ikman Yuzebsev also Amalei Lavua. Shnei Shlish Nisi Levi Torah's Kahana. I taught him 2/9 of Vayikra. V'lo Yom Ponai. So Rebbe tells him Shema Bohem Yoshu Maharer. Maybe he's thinking learning. Not only thinking learning, maybe he's thinking the learning that you taught him. But the Gemara says, time the Bohem Yoshu Maharer. The only teretz is because he was busy in learning. You have to stand up in the Beis HaMerchatz. Beis HaMerchatz has 3 rooms. There's the actual mikveh room. There's a place where everybody unclothes, and there's a place where everybody is clothed, and they recuperate from the schwitz or whatever it is. They sit there. So, in the inner one, where people are not clothed, you don't stand up. But we're talking about the outer one. That's why he was upset. Rebbe said maybe he's learning Torah. Well, how is he learning? How is he thinking Torah if he's in the Beis HaMerchatz? Says Gemara, Halavai, we should have these onsim. But if a person is busy learning and then he walks into the Beis HaMerchatz, how is he going to stop learning? It's very hard for him to stop. That's where the Vilna Gaon wrote the Kramer's, whatever it's called, theory. What? I am a shulish, yeah. I am shulish. He wrote it in the bathroom. The same thing. It goes together. Beis HaMerchatz, Beis HaKisei, it says over here. The Mulun Zishani. He was an einus. That's what Rebbe was saying. He was thinking learning. That's why he didn't notice you. But how's he allowed to think learning? It just went into his head. You tell a guy, don't think about a pink elephant. He's going to think about a pink elephant. Don't think and learn. What are you going to do? I can't control what's in my head. The Gemara had to have him in it that your Rebbe is coming and you're not even going to pay attention. It says Gemara, but the Rishai is going askinon. We're talking about a Rasha. Today, Slichas is very short, like every Yom Kippur, so Mela, we could just go late. The Chimot is Machiyuva, Holy Chazal, the Komi Kamei, maybe you should close your eyes before you chayv. Let's say he's a block away, so you close your eyes. The Chimot is Machiyuva, Holy Chazal, the Komi Kamei. When he comes into your distance, they have to stand up. You're blind, you don't see him. Rashi says over here, you should fear your creator. He knows your thoughts. What are you coming up with shtick to get out of a mitzvah? Hashem knows your shtick. Tana, what does it mean? You have to stand up, that you mahader. Within the 8 feet of a person, that he knows you're standing up for him. This is only a Rebbe that's not his what? Primary Rebbe. But a primary Rebbe, when Abaye saw the donkey's ears, I have a picture of it. It's the emblem on the car as it coming around the corner. In those days, the car was a donkey. So it was the ear of the donkey. But today, I put in the left corner, I don't know if you can see, the Rolls Royce, that emblem goes up, down, you turn on the engine, it comes out. So when it came around the corner, the first thing you notice is the emblem. I don't want to say the other car from Germany. The Rolls Royce. He would stand up just by seeing the ear, not by seeing his Rebbe, Rav Yosef. Right? The whole Shas, Abay's helping Rav Yosef remember his Torah. He's a big Talmud of his Rava. Abai have a Rochel Chamora. Abai was riding on a donkey, and he got to the riverside. Yosef they're on the other side. So Abai says to them, and this is not about Gaiva, this is about Hatzlocha. What's wrong with you? I'm your Rebbe. I teach you Torah. How are you not standing up for me? We're busy. Had we noticed you? We're just so we didn't see that you're on the other side of a river. How do you know they shouldn't? A zakin shouldn't walk in and make people stand up for him. If a Talmud Chacham goes the other way around, comes from the back door, he gets a long life. Abai makif. Abai was makif, not that they shouldn't stand up for him. Reb Zera makif. So some say it's dafka bezmana in those days that they used to sit on the ground. It was very hard for a person to get up off the ground. But in our days that we sit on chairs, it's not the end of the world. Again, we have a story of a person not wearing a yarmulke. Seems like he wasn't wearing anything. When I learned the Chaim Berlin, I learned there for 2 years after Pesach, and they had a thing that you cannot speak to the Rosh Hashiva, Reb Aaron Shechter Zechariah was just sniffed the other week. You can't speak to him without wearing your hat and jacket. You had to come. There's no such thing. If you came in without, you wouldn't look at it. There's a certain covet you have to have in front of a gadol. Maybe so used to Rabbanim. There's so many Rabbanim over here. They keep on coming in and out that he thinks he's their friend. Izzy ben Yehuda Omer, one of the biggest Roshivas in Israel, I'm not going to say his name, one of the most chashuv Roshivas. He used to come to Chicago a lot. So he stayed by me, and I had a pool table in my basement. So he said, when I was a bacher back in the day, I used to play pool. So I shot pool with him. Then he says I was a good basketball. So we played basketball. I had a hoop. So like you become buddy. But Lemaisi, he's one of the G'dolim today. He's like he has one of the most chashuv yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. You have a gisi bar rabban. I think you're his buddy. You're not his buddy. Izzy ben Yehuda Omer b'nei Seva Takum. I feel called Seva Mashma. So over here it says the halach is like Yosef ben Yehuda that every old man you have to stand up. I don't know exactly. I didn't look it up how we pass in mamish like today. I don't see the Shulchan Aruch here, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, right? Although I would be busy standing up on the bus. I don't know. Halach Yosef ben Yehuda. I should have looked it up. So here the Gemara says he would stand up for Goyim. Rabbi Yochanan. Omar Kamar Pakti Adu Alayu Dahani. How many different experiences and tsaras. And then Rashi says, if you look at Rashi, it's beautiful. V'ro nisim harbe u'moifsim. It's Erev Rosh Hashanah. When a person just concentrates every day, it's a good idea. I don't do it, but you guys should do it. Concentrate every day the good that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does to you. Just yesterday, they accepted your son to school. Just yesterday, he told me a Ma'aseh Shaya, but I have to say quickly. 2 people in one day. Somebody just gave $3,600 to the koilo, and he said an hour later, the biggest deal of his life that was about to fall through, they sent him an hour later after he gave $3,600. And Avi said, right after yesterday's donation, a big city said that he's the official, one of the official lawyers of the city. He says, you give, you get back. And he said, we were just talking about it before he gave the money. So he says, so Avi said, Rabbi said, listen to this. Hakol b'dei shomayim chutz miyira shomayim. Avi told me this word today, this morning. Everything is in the hands of Hashem besides Yira Shamayim, besides fear of Hashem. But you could also look at it as Yira Shamayim, that you see Hashem. When you look and you see, when you pay attention to all the good HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, you have to be a chacham to see it. You have to open up your eyes to see it sometimes. Sometimes it's obvious. Here's the email. Oh, you're accepted. But sometimes it's not obvious. The little things. Okay, you have to Yira Shamayim. That you have to be a chacham and see the not Yira fear, but Yira as in seeing. Zok the Gemara. The other person said, B'Shumayf, and I can't say his name, so I won't say his name. It's because it's every Rosh Hashanah. Oh, Rava Meshadish Luche. Rava wouldn't touch the guy, but he'd send his messenger, Rav Lach Meshadish Gizoi. Rashi goes in a whole long thing here that he had these officers, they used to beat people up if they didn't do the halach or whatever. So those guys, go help the old man. Omar, Ilav Torah, I can't go help them. I'm a Talmud Chacham, I have a lot of Torah. This is the famous Rav Nachman, they say. Even though his father's name is not Abba, over here it's Abba. The Torah made me chashiv. So it's below the Torah for me to go help the non-Jewish zaken. Let my shluchim do it. The halacha is, and this is Shulchan Aruch Paskins, you should only stand up for the same Talmud Chacham twice. Why? You say Shema twice a day. You stand up for Talmud Chacham twice a day. 3 would be more covered than you give Hashem. Meisvei, sponsored in honor of Elchanan Pressman, Baruch Hatzlocha, and Greg Haber, Baruch Parnas Brios, Hatzlocha to him, Gans Klal Yisrael. Meisvei. Shim ben Allah Zoymer, huh? Oh, this is the last day, so I have to say it nicely. Greg Haber, Baruch Parnas Hatzlocha Brios for his family, Reb Eli, all of the wine, everyone doing the daf. The next sponsor starts next year, Rosh Hashanah. Meisvei, which is tomorrow. How do you know? We just learned. How do you know that you shouldn't make people stand up for you? But if you only have to stand up twice, what's the big deal? It's only twice a day. Obviously, it means that you have to stand up 20 times. So the pasuk is warning you: stop going to the bathroom so many times. Stop going to look for a sefer. Every time you go to the back, everybody's standing up for you. Says no, it's twice. And even that, you need a pasuk. Why are you making people stand up for you twice? Twice is too much. Or who doesn't stand up before his Rebbe is considered Rochel. And he forgets his learning. Like the shadow. And then I need to address this the big elephant in the room. So you're probably wondering yourself, if Eli walks into the room and I didn't stand up for him, am I considered a big Rochel? And the answer is, yes, you are a big Rochel. However, I was moichel you, l'chatchila. I was moichel. It says, we learned yesterday, Harav Shemocha Kvoide, even if I'm your Rav, Harav Shemocha Kvoide Kvoide Mochel, as moichel l'chatchila, I'm moichel lahaba, and I'm asking you not to stand up for me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like the guy on the stop of the bus.
When you said the elephant in the room, what did you mean?
I met myself. Okay, Iboilu. Jonathan, Johnny, you could sit. We're diving there. If you stand up once, okay. But please don't stand up for me, please. What's the sphere? It's in the same passage. You're talking about it's standing up. Did I bring it? I guess not. A mishkal, the scale, and ribis. So Rashi brings Mishkal is a little bit more difficult. You have to go to Taisus to figure that one out. But it says by ribis, it says it says the word yira by ribis. So maybe that's what it's talking. Who told you it's talking about standing up? Reb Elazar, Mishkal is also, there's a pasuk next to it. Reb Elazar, pnei gomar. It says, if you remember 5 lines early, it says asher neno yorei milifnei ha'elikim, and it says v'adar pnei zaken. So it's talking about a zaken. Ibaylu. It's not a real gzeir shava. It's a fake one, but it's good enough. Ibaylu b'noi vu rabbi. So we have 2 questions. If the son is a tremendous Talmud Chacham, should the son stand up for his own father? But he's a bigger Talmud Chacham than his father. His father learns by him in his yeshiva. He should stand up for his father? Yeah, but it's his father. Now, what does the father do? The father learns by his son. The son is a bigger yeshiva. Should he stand up for his son? So we have 2 shilas here. The first question is, B'noivu Rabbi, Ma'u Lamoid, should the son stand up for his father? If you remember yesterday, when one was teaching his father, and he was a little bit not nice to his father, he said it in not such a nice lashon, and Shmuel gave him Musar. Who was it? Shmuel or Rav Yehuda? Shinina. You, sharp one, stand up for your father, Yecheskel. Shani Rav Yecheskel, the Baal Maisim Hava. No. Anyways, Rav Yecheskel was a big tzaddik, so you have to stand up for him. Even you, Rav Yehuda's Rebbe, Shmuel also stood up for him. Shmuel wanted to teach Rabbi Yehuda that every son has to stand up for a father, even if the son is the Rebbe. Here, I have a shtickle thing here. It's not the best, and also I don't like to depict Hanoim or Meroim, so this is just for illustrative purposes. Here you see Shmuel on a chair. You don't see him, hopefully, and Rabbi Yehuda is on the floor. And here comes the father, Rav Yecheskel. Okay, I don't like the way he looks. It didn't come out great, but okay. So, since Shmuel's back is to Rav Yecheskel, he doesn't see him. But Rav Yehuda, who's on the floor, should stand up. And Shmuel's on the chair is going to say, why are you standing up now? Who is it behind me? Don't worry, I give you reshus. Every time your father walks behind me, you stand up. Don't worry about my covenant. Should I show it again? One more time. See if going. No? When Rav Yecheskel is walking by like that, you, Shmuel, Rav Yehuda can stand up. Benoivu Rabbi. Here's the question on the father. Could the father stand up for him? I can't stand up for my son. The only reason I stand up for my son is one reason. Because he married into the Nasi's family. But if he was my Rebbe, if my son was my Rebbe, I would stand up for him. No. Not a good raya. In general, a father should never stand up for his son, even if the son is his Rebbe. Maybe that's the pshat. Why? Because I'm a father, and a father doesn't stand up for his son. Ella, the only reason I'm standing up for him, Shum, Rabboisai, have a wonderful day, a good Keben Shiur, all the brachas, Yeshuas and a chames.